believe that we're approaching the tail end of 2024? This year's been nothing short of an adrenaline-pumping roller coaster of epic battles that leave you breathless. The fights this year have delivered everything we've asked for and even more. So today let's reminisce about some of the best fights of 2024. Starting off the list with Arajin versus Shindo from Buchigiri. And I mean, it seriously reminds you of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in a lot of ways. But let's talk about one of the most intense fight scenes involving Arajin and Shindo. This is the showdown where things go from absolutely nothing to chaos in about 3 seconds. So Shindo's out here doing his thing, which apparently involves whipping the ever-loving crap out of Arajin and his gang. But when Shindo whipped Maharo, our boy's crush, Arajin decided it was time to step up. This dude absolutely destroyed Shindo by punching him, and let me tell you, Arajin punches Shindo with so much power that the scene replays the hit 3 different times. You know a punch is epic when the anime is like, nope, you gotta see it again, and one more time for good measure. This scene is a pure work of art because you can literally feel the force of that punch. Luckily, Arajin finally got his MC moment, the one we've all been waiting for desperately. And did anyone get a United States of Smash vibe from Arajin's punch? Because I definitely did, and it's on that same epic level. Next up is an entry from Ishura, an anime that not a lot of people talk about. It's when Sojiro fought the Shulk. The series itself is a unique kind of isekai and it's got some jaw-dropping fights. Sojiro is our amazing sword master, the one who can cut through anything. On the other hand, we have Shulk, the sound slicer who's called that for a reason. When the two duke it out, it's nothing short of a visual treat. You see, Shulk is a pretty fast one and Sojiro can't keep up with his moves. So what does he do? He predicts Shulk's moves and deals with him like that. The intensity of this fight is off the charts. Every clash of their ability sends shockwaves across the battlefield and you're sitting there on the edge of your seat wondering who's gonna land the next hit. What I love about this fight is how Sojiro anticipates Shulk's movements even when he can't see them, yet he can still evade everything. It highlights how challenging it is to predict movements and perfectly dodge every attack. It's truly impressive, and the fact that not a lot of people are talking about this anime is infuriating, to be honest. Moving on, we have Suicide Squad Isekai where Harley Quinn fights Katana. Katana, armed with her soul-stealing sword and lethal skills, faces off against a surprisingly pumped-up Harley Quinn who's eager to take it down. And guess what? Harley actually pushes Katana to retreat. Who knew that she was such a skilled swordsman, eh? The animation in this fight? Well, it's absolutely stunning. It's a huge upgrade from their initial clash, but the real star here is the choreography. Harley's unpredictable fighting style is a blast to watch here as she seamlessly blends acrobatic agility with chaotic, playful sword swings. We just can't get enough of it. I was surprised at how good the fight scenes were, and my mind was absolutely blown away with this one. Cooking their way into this list, we have Farlin fighting everyone in Delicious in Dungeon. At first, it made it like a pretty delightful and hilarious adventure show about cooking monsters, but don't judge a book by its cover because the fight scenes in this one are epic. Farlin was consumed by a red dragon and turned into a harpy as a result. Now, right off the bat, Farlin absolutely mops the floor with 3 parties, making it crystal clear who's in charge. The highlight of this fight scene is its animation. Everything about this scene was spot on, and it was genuinely chilling to watch. The tension escalated from 0 to 100 in an instant, and it's a shame that so many people overlook this series. It truly deserves a spotlight, especially after this moment. Luckily, the dead can be resurrected, so even if things go south, you know there's a chance for a comeback in this one. Even though it's more about cooking, I was surprised at just how dynamic and well animated these fight scenes were. And not to mention, seeing that no plot armor was reserved for the side characters made things look even more brutal. You know, I enjoy reading a good adventure light novel every so often, and I love getting completely immersed in the story. Sometimes I even lose track of time. If you're someone who vibes with that, let me introduce you to today's sponsor, WebNovel. WebNovel is an online platform and app where users can read and publish serialized fiction, including web novels, light novels, and fan fiction. It offers a wide range of genres like fantasy, romance, sci-fi, and more. WebNovel is especially popular for its translated Chinese, Korean, and Japanese novels and original English content. While exploring the app, I came across an intriguing novel titled The First Legendary Beastmaster. Sounds pretty cool, right? Think of it like Pokemon, but with higher stakes and a deeper storyline. Born into poverty, Carl's only chance at greatness is the annual Elite Recruitment Day, where students awaken their magical abilities. Just like in Pokemon, Carl doesn't follow the usual path. Instead of training standard abilities, he discovers the rare and powerful skill to tame magical beasts. Much like Ash and his team of Pokemon, Carl forms a squad of these magical creatures, each with unique powers, strengths, and personalities. The First Legendary Beastmaster brings you thrilling battles, deep character development, and a vibrant world where magic, strategy, and friendships are key to survival. Plus, with light-hearted moments from Carl's beast companions, it's a story that'll keep you hooked from start to finish. So why wait? Download WebNovel today and dive into a world of incredible stories by clicking the link in the description. Get ready to unlock new worlds, meet unforgettable characters, and immerse yourself in an adventure you won't forget. Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest picks up where the original Fairy Tail left us, and we get to see Natsu fight against the Water Dragon King. Now, the Water Dragon King isn't an ordinary majestic character. It's a massive and shimmering powerhouse that brings the very essence of water magic to the battlefield. Natsu and his gang know things are about to go down as soon as they see that terrifying creature. While Natsu was all about frying the Water Dragon King with his flames, sadly his flames proved to be really weak against him. But after consuming the flames of hell, Natsu turns the tables and beats the Water Dragon King. I have to say, the animation and visuals in 100 Year Quest look absolutely stunning. It's easily the best Fairy Tail has ever looked. Also, I absolutely love the fact that Lucy was the only one who could calm Natsu down, even while getting burnt in the process, which is a testament to their bond. Going back to another underrated anime, we have Metallic Rouge, where Rouge fights Purgatory Viola, and it's nothing short of an electrifying spectacle. As the battle kicks off, it's a whirlwind of colors and energy. Both fighters unleash their unique abilities, trying to overpower each other with every dazzling attack. In the end, Rouge wins with one powerful punch, making all of Viola's earlier swordsmanship seem pointless. The animation of this fight is top-notch, with fluid movements and perfect fight choreography. And the music in this scene had no business going this hard because it was a banger. And that final moment when she drops to her knees in defeat as the chorus fades, it's just wow. It sends chills down my spine. Getting good animation is nice, but pairing it up with some mouth-dropping music is even better. The fight also has some significance to the plot, as she was the one who took Rouge from the streets and even gave her a job. Moving on, we have the kind of anime where the fights are an absolute blast. Mashle. The duel between Rain and Macron is a moment you won't forget very soon. You see, Rain embodies that pure cool kid vibe and is shrouded in mystery. On the other hand, we have Macron, an eccentric individual who loves duking it out with stronger opponents. He's also twisted and gives Orochimaru vibes. The animators did some godly work because not only was every moment captured in stunning detail, but you can practically feel the energy pulsing through the air as the two characters clash. Everything feels so smooth, and the way their attacks and defensive moves flow into each other is captivating, and it keeps you glued to the screen. Also, I love that despite the fact that Rain is a bit of a jerk, you can feel the respect he has for Mash during this fight, and he looks so badass, especially when he summoned Ares and used Black Partisan. Breaking into this list is the highly anticipated battle between the All Might of America, Star and Stripe, and Tomura Shigaraki. As soon as the 7th season dropped, we were treated to this clash right in the first episode, and it was absolutely awesome. Star and Stripe are portrayed as the perfect hero, almost too perfect for anyone else to shine. Her quirk lets her manipulate her surroundings and even set rules for herself and others. However, during her battle with Tomura, she struggled to use her powers effectively because she was up against both him and All for One. This battle was one of the most thrilling in My Hero Academia history. The animation, the action, and just the overall epicness were top-notch. Not only did she deliver an incredible fight, but she also makes Shigaraki feel beatable. Small role, huge impact. If it weren't for his plot armor, he would have died from the ballistic missiles alone.
これが私の恩返し。
Next on the list, Kengen Ashura Season 2 serves us with one of the most intense fights between Oma Tokita and Kuroki Gensai. These two are the kinds of fighters who make you want to stop what you're doing and just watch in awe. Now, Oma is known for his incredible strength and brutal fighting style, and then there's Kuroki Gensai, the Devil Lance. Kuroki is the polar opposite of Oma's wild and aggressive style. The fight's so visually appealing that it will keep your eyes glued to the screen. I love how Oma's busting out all these crazy, esoteric, superhuman techniques with flashy names, while Kuroki's over here like elbow strike, back fist, palm strike, straight to the point and deadly effective. Also, the animation, albeit not your usual style, surely does a great job of showing the intensity of every move. The transitions between each hit are smooth and you can really feel the power behind each strike. It's hilarious how Kuroki hit Oma so hard, Kengen Ashura turned into Street Fighter 4 for a second. Kuroki really destroyed the protagonist's rival, his nemesis, and the main character in one tournament. This year, we get the thrilling Hashira training arc, where the Hashiras and low-ranking demon slayers train tirelessly for the battle against demons. The standout training session for me is the sparring between Muichiro, Sanemi, and Obanai. It's definitely a sight to behold, and it's a training session that you're not going to want to miss. You see, the fight kicks off at such a lightning-fast pace that it's almost impossible to follow everyone's movements. You've got three powerhouse Hashiras going all out, and it's the perfect showcase of their insane skills, or should I say Muichiro's insane skills. Seriously, who would have thought that he'd be so confident facing off against Sanemi and Obanai at the same time? And the fact that there are sparks coming from wooden swords is saying a lot. Watching them battle with that level of intensity and passion isn't only exciting, but also shows how strong they've become. It's a jaw-dropping preview of the epic battles that lie ahead. Back at it again, let's go to Mushoku Tensei, where Rudius's party fought the Hydra. Remember how Rudius and Paul had been trying to trace Zenith for years, ever since she disappeared in that weird teleport incident? Well, in the latest season, our heroes are able to track her down and are all about saving her. But it's not that easy. Turns out a terrifying Hydra has her in its clutches, and in order to free Zenith, they have to fight the Hydra. Now, the Hydra's CGI design might seem a little weird at first, but it actually blends well with the background and characters, so it's not distracting as the fight goes on. What really makes this fight memorable though is the emotional punch it packs. Just when the Hydra is nearly defeated, it pulls off one last surprise attack and Paul jumps in to save Rudius, taking the hit instead. That moment adds a whole new level of intensity and makes the scene unforgettable. And the fact that they released this episode on Father's Day was something we never recovered from. And of course, like every battle in Mushoku Tensei, the animation is top tier and will blow your mind. Moving on to another contender, this jaw-dropping battle between Kafka and Isao from Kaiju number 8 is hands down one of the most epic yet underrated fights this year. When Kafka found himself up against the Director General of the Defense Force, he knew he wasn't going to get away unscathed. He had to turn into his Kaiju form to take as little damage as he could, but unfortunately, Kafka turned into his Berserk Kaiju form and lost control over himself. The fight's intense, nerve-wracking, and straight up jaw-dropping. Although Kaiju number 8 isn't godly like Demon Slayer, the movement still managed to become clean and precise. What I really love about this fight scene is how Kafka refuses to let his Kaiju form harm Isao in front of his daughter, which adds a lot more emotion to the whole thing. Instead, he injures himself to put an end to the chaos he's causing. Now, I want to see what happens when the guy goes all out. It was a pure battle of strength, and seeing Kafka turn red was just spine-chilling. The Elusive Samurai is a fresh new anime that will make you fall in love with Japanese history, while the fight between Tokiyuki and Shokan will make you love the series itself. You see, Tokiyuki is pretty good at running, and when he runs, he makes sure to spin your head and give you a bad headache. Now that's exactly what Tokiyuki did against Shokan, and he absolutely destroyed him with a big smile on his face. Bro was literally having the time of his life skipping around like that. From the fight choreography to the camera movements, everything is executed flawlessly. It just creates an action sequence that's hard to look away from. This moment is the best example of how sometimes speed can overwhelm strength. The colors of Shokan's blood and seeing him be truly terrified was a sight to behold. I know it looked a little bit funny, but it was still brutal, as you can see Shokan slowly lost his mind before he was even beaten by Tokiyuki. Talking about an action sequence that's hard to look away from, we have this legendary fight between Fern and Frieren with Frieren's clone. Now, Frieren's clone not only resembles her, but also possesses all of her powers. Battles between two evenly matched opponents are always a treat to watch, but this one really stands out because both fighters share the same abilities and battle strategies. Frieren is a mage with an immense mana output and over 1,000 years of experience, making her incredibly powerful, so powerful in fact, that even her clone easily created a literal black hole out of thin air. The fight was a breathtaking showcase of magic, bursting with vibrant colors that lit up the screen. It was thrilling to see Fern land the final blow, marking that moment as one of the best of this winter. The calmness Frieren has through this fight was mind-boggling. She had the confidence in her student, and that really showed how much she trusts Fern. What made it even more impactful though was the foreshadowing. If it wasn't the Demon King who was defeated by Frieren, it was destined to be a human mage.
好きだらけです
Next up is Windbreaker, another thrilling delinquent anime following Tokyo Revengers and the electrifying duel between our main boy Sakura and Joe Togame. Sakura really showed some serious guts going up against Joe, especially since Joe absolutely wrecked him. I mean, ouch. But give Sakura credit, he didn't back down without a fight and managed to land some solid hits on Joe before going down. Other animes should take notes from Windbreaker when it comes to animating hand-to-hand combat scenes. The animation was dynamic. The raw intensity and smooth motion of every punch and kick were absolutely breathtaking, raising the bar for action sequences in the genre. I absolutely love raw, powerful fights, and this fight between Sakura and Joe definitely fits the bill. It's just the beginning, and I can't wait to see what Windbreaker has to offer us. Arigato. But one fight that's taken the anime community by storm this year is the jaw-dropping hospital scene, and trust me, the visuals are no joke. You can really feel Higan's badassery in this fight scene where he battles a ton of ninjas, all while forcing himself out of a wheelchair. As he's being hunted, Higan cleverly uses their own weapons against them along with his ninjutsu, turning into an unstoppable force of nature. And just when you think it can't get any more intense, we get a first-person view of Higan taking them down in the elevator. He leaves a trail of defeated ninjas behind him as he moves through the hospital, hospital, and the choreography that goes along with the animation is absolutely next level. Plus, the tempo of the background music matches the fight's pace perfectly, adding to the excitement. Honestly, this anime scratched the itch that Ninja Scroll left. Yes, while I agree that this anime started and ended differently, you can't deny the epicness of this particular scene. It really had me on the edge of my seat. And is it going to be a ViniiTube list without a One Piece entry, eh? Next, we have the famous mentor versus student fight from One Piece, Garp versus Kuzan. Come on, you definitely had chills watching this, right? The way Garp launched his entire ship into the air by creating a punch vacuum in the ocean, only to follow it up with a giant fist crashing down on Blackbeard's crew, wiping out a huge portion of the island, was absolutely thrilling. And then his confrontation with Kuzan, where both of them seemed to question everything, was another big highlight of the battle. Now at this point, I think the most intense parts of the fight are behind us. Kuzan's line, "You trained a troublesome enemy," followed by Garp's emotional response, "You're expelled," really hit hard, don't you think? It was one of those moments that reminds you that these characters aren't just powerhouses. They've got history, feelings, and some serious inner conflicts going on. And it wasn't just about the punches or flashy techniques, it was the emotional weight behind them. You could feel the pain of a mentor facing off against a former student, and it added so much depth to the chaos around them. This wasn't just a fight, it was a clash of ideals, personal regrets, and long-standing loyalties. Coming from an anime that's fairly new, the fight between Will and Julius from Wistoria is such a duel that you'd want to watch again and again. From the very start, you can sense the tension in the air. Will isn't just a rookie, he's got some impressive tricks up his sleeve. He uses his spellcasting skills and quick thinking to pull off some amazing moves that keep you on your toes. On the other side, Julius, with his sharp techniques and powerful magic, is ready to destroy Will using his clones. Will faces off against Julius and his clones with an intensity that's truly impressive. The battle is nothing short of epic, as Will skillfully takes apart Julius and his magical duplicates in an amazing show of talent and determination. The look of shock and horror on Julius's face as he and his clones are defeated is priceless, and the moment when Will delivers a final, crushing punch to Julius was absolutely unforgettable. Julius even did that cringy, evil laugh at the beginning, which made this even more satisfying. Last but not least, we have the battle between Sung Jin-woo and Igris from Solo Leveling. Sung Jin-woo, the upcoming Shadow Monarch, has come a long way from being a weak E-grade hunter. On the other side, we have Igris, the powerful knight with his skills that rival even the best hunters. His combat experience and overwhelming strength are no joke. At first, Igris confidently believes that he's got this in the bag, managing to momentarily put Jin-woo in his place. But here's where things take a turn. Jin-woo taps into his real god mode. Ditching his weapon, he goes bare-fisted against Igris, and it's just amazing. Just like the manhwa, the anime didn't cut corners in terms of animation and fight choreography. What made this even better was that Igris even dropped his sword and started throwing hands. But the ending was just perfect, as the voice actor went wild and that iconic red and white impact frame caught me off guard. That's why I can easily say it's one of the most memorable fights of the decade so far. Did you enjoy watching this video? If the answer is yes, then please give this video a like. If you're looking for something more, then why don't you check out this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more weekly content on anime. That's all for today. I'll see you in the next one.